Hey girls, Christy here with week 2 post-op. I'm just going to keep you updated on my results. I'm just going to do a full 360 turn right now. And that's it. So as you remember, I told you that, my hips did not survive the surgery. The fat did not take the fat grafting from my hips. Still kind of really disappointed, but I think I'm finally in the acceptance phase of, grieving because it was a really expensive surgery and I really wanted the results for such a long time. Like, I wanted this for a decade. I'm 32 years old. I've been wanting this since I was like 22, 23 when I first joined the military. I just wanted hips. I saw all the girls in boot camp and I'm like, oh, she has a nice body, she has a nice body. When you're in a room of 80 women in boot camp, you start to think like, man, this is how real women bodies look. And don't get me wrong, I love my body. I just want a little bit more hips. So I've wanted hips for a long time. And I thought that working out, being in the military, I can get this fit body. It just wasn't in the genes for me. And apparently it's still not. I spent $11,000 trying to get a skinny or petite BBL and it didn't survive. The hips didn't survive. So it is what it is. As you can see, I'm still bruised. But I think this is a bit of fat necrosis. I don't know. There's just one little lump here. You have to be careful about that. I'm going to talk to my doctors about that to see what they can do, see what they can say. See how I can fix that. Any other issues? I did feel like after I removed my drain last week, I removed it 1 week post-op, and I felt like I had like 2 lumps, 2 seromas, and that's just like, like almost like a cyst, like a tissue filled with like fluid, and it just feels like hard and lumpy. So they suggested to keep doing the compression and keep doing the lymphatic drainage and lung compress, drainage, pressure, and yeah, I think that's pretty much all you can do. They said to let them know, if anything changes from that, but as long as it's not infected, over time it'll fade away. So I'm feeling that those 2 lumps are starting to fade a little bit because I had a drain like right here in my groin. And I took that out 1 week post-op. You can only take out your drain if it has less than 25 milliliters of fluid, or if it's like 2 weeks post-op surgery, whichever one comes first, whichever your surgeon suggests. It's up to you. I was tired of walking around with a drain on me all the time, so I just took it out a week by myself. I just cut the little suture and I just pulled and it came out. It didn't hurt. So I've just been using Hibiclens to keep that clean. Make sure the area is clean in my groin because, girls, we get hot and sweaty. Make sure that stays dry. Some bacitracin maybe. It'll close up like in a couple of days. I took it out like 4 days ago and it's still kind of closing up. So it's almost done closing. But there was another incision site here that he closed up before I even woke up from the surgery table, so I didn't have to worry about that incision. A lot of people have been asking like, hey, where is your incision site? So he did one behind each armpit. See right there? It's healing up a little bit. 1, 2, and then there's one right on the tailbone that you can even barely see. He hides it. That'll always be hidden like with a G-string or like underwear, unless you're going commando. None of my business. And then there's one right here above the belly button, but you can't really see. The plus about this is I have a whole, look at that. Look. I have abs now, girl. Liposuction is worth it. So there are 2 phases of having a BBL. There's a liposuction part where they take the fat out, the 360, and then there's a fat grafting part where they put the fat in. Hopefully your fat stays. Oh, sorry. I'm still getting over the failure of the fat not taking. I'll be okay. Anyway, so those are the surgery incision sites. They're barely noticeable, so I'm really happy about that, because some girls have incisions like right here, right down here. It's like right up here, like right on their backs. I have none of those. I'm so grateful that he didn't do that. He went through the armpits, through this way. It's barely noticeable. Love that. Love that part that he did. I'm so grateful that, because you never know. Some people don't scar well, and the BBL scars are becoming noticeable. So if you see those little dots all over some girl's back, all over her leg, she had a BBL. But it all depends on the surgeon. So that's a good part that I really appreciated that he did. So here's the thing. So I told them I complained. So they check up on you every week for a month post-op. And for this week, they called and they were like, hey, how's everything going? I'm like, look, not even gonna lie to you, not happy. The fat's died. Like, I don't know what else to do. I'm really sad. I'm really depressed. What options do I have? And they were like, oh, send in some photos. Let's see how it progresses over time. But there's nothing really we can do for the next 6 months. That's usually officially when the surgery has been kind of healed. So I'm like, what happens after the 6 months? And they were like, oh, well, there is a discussion to be had with the surgeon. There's a board. We'll discuss and go from there, but you could possibly qualify for a revision. I'm tiny. Where else are they going to get the fat from? If I couldn't gain fat all my life, what makes you think I'm going to gain it in 6 months? Plus, I never want to do this again. Ever. This is so painful. It's tolerable, but it's really annoying. I had to take a whole month off from work. It's expensive. No. Unless you're giving me half of my money back, which I don't even know if I qualify for that, but I'm just thinking in my head, like, what happens when someone isn't really happy with their plastic surgery? Like, what are the steps? So I'll follow up with you guys to let you know what the steps are post-op as the months go on. So as far as products go, I've been using like hyaluronic acid. You can get this off Amazon. It's like $5-10. And I've been if anything, I've been putting it on my face too. I've been putting it on my face. I've been putting it on my scars so they could fade away a little, better. And I also have bought vitamin C serum, and it helps brighten up the skin. You can use it on your face too. That's what I've been using, because when you're sleeping on your face all day, every day, your face gets puffy and it's just blotchy. It's just, I hate that look. I hate that pressed look, because I'm not a stomach sleeper at all. I'm a side sleeper, so I'm miserable. So I'm doing whatever I can to keep my face young and tight, darling. So as far as what else? So they told me, since, my hips are fading away and the fat graft in the hips didn't take, it's taking a little bit. It's seeming like it wants to last in the butt area. It's seeming like that. So I'm going to keep trying to follow the rules. No sitting, no laying on my back. I don't know. I'm going to keep trying for that. But as far as my hips, yeah, it's just not in the cards for me. It's not in the cards. So, yeah. But they did say to take off my faja. I know. You've been taught never to take it off. Even, it's just a shower. Just a shower, wash, and put it immediately back on. Well, in my case, they said, get rid of it. Because I guess the compression around the hips was just too much. And I was like, great. I wish I knew this before. I would have not followed that rule, but whatever. But they said that they do want me to still have some form of compression. while I'm healing for the next couple of weeks, at least 6 weeks to keep. So I got this waist trainer offline, Amazon. And what I'm going to hope for is I'm going to hope that it will give me an illusion of a smaller waist. Smaller than this, yes, I know. A smaller waist so the hips can come out a little bit more and suck in the stomach a little bit more. You see that? Like if I just suck in, at least my hips will maybe go out a little. I don't know. And I got some more foam. These foams, while you're wearing the compression, it does the job for you while you're asleep, while you're bending and moving. It helps push out, you know, some of the fluid in the spaces. So don't sleep on the foams. The foams are very important. Wash them or even buy a whole new pack. It's up to you. And I wouldn't skip out on the lymphatic massages either. I know they're expensive, but even if you can't do 20, do 10. And if you can't do 10, I don't know, do it as much as you can afford. And if you can't afford anymore, I would pay attention to what they're doing while you're getting massaged, so you could know which way to push the fluid in yourself in the shower. That's where I do most of my personal massages in between my massages. It does help because I think week 2 you're supposed to have like 2 to 3 massages in week 2, week 3, week 4. So yeah, if you can't afford it, cool. I would put a little bit of money aside just so you could be able to afford it. But if you can't, do it yourself or ask a friend, ask your hubby, ask your boyfriend, your significant other, partner, whoever, to help you with that if you can't afford it. So one thing that they you know, they gave me before I left was a roller. This looks painful. I'm not looking forward to this because the liposuction part, look, I can't bend. I can't bend at all, bro. Like, this is so tight. Like, just touching this, it feels like rock hard abs. Anyway, the massages hurt. I'm not looking forward to this roller, but here goes nothing. So I'm gonna try it out with you guys. I don't know. I don't know if you're supposed to like not use this for like a month after or not. I don't know. I'm just trying to do whatever I need to do to help this process speed up, because I am just so sick and tired of being bedridden and being stiff and tight, and I don't like this feeling. So whatever I need to do to speed this up, I'm gonna do it, because I'm over this healing process. Like, I had to take a whole month off of work. Like, they wouldn't let me come back to work because I have restrictions. So I'm just like, listen, time is money. So whatever I need to do to prove to you guys that I can go back to work, I'm going to do it. Anyway, let's try it out. Let's see how it goes. So bear with me. I think they say to roll up or down. I don't know. I'm gonna do both. Oh my gosh, this is so painful. Oh my god. Oh. That was a lot. That was a lot. That was painful. That was so painful. That was painful. 2 weeks post-op. I'm gonna try to do this like 5 more times, and I'm just gonna call it a day because this is still kind of painful. You have to understand, like I said in my previous videos, when they do the liposuction, this is your skin, there's the fat in the middle, and then there's your muscle. And when they go in and suck out all that fat, there's just space and fluid. So that's why you have to wear the compression, you know, while you're healing for weeks, because It's literally trying to glue your stomach together, the muscles and the skin. So wear your compressions, do the massages, get all that fluid and drainage out, because you don't want like a little pudge of excess fluid just sitting. Because I think I had that for like the first couple of days, but I kept my compressions on, and I kept my compressions pretty low, or at least my sponge, I kept it pretty low here, and it pushed down while I was asleep the fluid out, especially in between my massages, so that helped a lot. So yeah, I have this little guy to help while I'm in the shower or out. This really does help, you know. Pay attention when they massage you. Pay attention to how they massage you, which way they're going, how they're squeezing out the extra fluid. Pay attention to all of that. So these are my new 2 tools to help me heal as fast as possible. But the bruising is starting to go away. I am going to ask about this. I think this is called like fat necrosis. I don't know. This one spot won't go away. So I need to ask them about this, because it just feels like a little lump here. I don't know, but BMI of 21. Yes, my surgery, my hips did fail. It was not successful, but you know, it is what it is. Maybe this is God's plan to say, hey, accept your body finally. But I am glad about the butt part. I'm glad it's a little bit more peachy. Hopefully that stays. If this goes, throw in the towel. That's it. I quit everything. I hope that doesn't go, because this left. That left. Like 2 weeks, it was gone. The swelling went down and it just was like, shoo. So make sure you have enough fat. Ow, it hurts a bit. Make sure you have enough fat before you go into the surgery. And know that it could potentially not take. I hope that yours does. I hope that you have a higher BMI than I do. And if you do, you're fine. Anybody over the BMI of maybe 23, 24, you're fine. But for the skinnier girls like me, just do your research. Don't get your hopes up too much. And everybody's body is different. So, yeah. This is my 2 weeks post-op. I'll keep you posted, girls.